Hi, every day. I welcome everyone in the name of the Lord. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. All right, tonight we are here for a session which I believe is very, very timely, very, very timely. And it starts rich and on fire. You see, many times we feel like the gospel and riches is at loggerheads, but that is actually not the truth because the actual wealth is in the gospel. If you read the book of Revelations and see the description of how heaven is, there's a place of gold, there's a place of wealth. And as co-heirs of Christ, we are people of immense wealth. So tonight is a great pleasure. We'll be having Joel Osagie. Joel Osagie is an entrepreneur, is a public speaker, and a business coach. So we'll be having him tonight to come plus share light and massive light for that matter. Share light on tonight's session. So you should expect a lot tonight. Expect a lot. God is about to do something mighty. Hello, sir.
Good
Welcome,
evening.
welcome. It's a delight to have you. It's a delight to have you. You're looking amazing, by the way. It's like this economy is now affecting you. Okay.
So we are operating in the economy of time.
Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome. So I've done the introduction, and we're really expectant tonight because for many young people they feel like once you try to go to the gospel path, that is like signing up for poverty. No, actually. So tonight we are expecting God to open our eyes through you, and we'll do so. All right, it's over to you, sir. God bless you.
All right. Um, when I saw the title, "Open Our Fire," it's actually something I'm very passionate about. It's actually something I'm very passionate about because, uh, like she said, a lot of us we get into Christianity and we get saved and we feel that okay, being saved is a ticket to poverty, but that is actually not the plan of God for us at all. That's not what God has planned for us at all. So before I actually delve into the discussion for tonight, make I want to say a few things to set the foundation. Yeah, I want to say a few things to set the foundation. So um, the reason why a lot of believers struggle with um, the reason why a lot of believers struggle with um, making money, they struggle with wealth is because of two things. Number one is fear, that is the most prevalent. And then number two is lack of knowledge. The Bible say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Now, talking about fear about what people would say. If you start going into business, you start doing things to make money, right? Most people just look at you like you are backsliding. That's actually the way we usually look at people that decide to start business. And then some of them, even though they are not, we are all called into we're all called to be kingdom financiers or financiers rather. But some of them have to take up that title just so that they can still feel safe with us. Um, they were not really called to um, be kingdom financiers per se. Like it's not the position, their position in the kingdom per se. It's not what they were called to do per se, but they have to take up that title. Why? Because they have to relate with us. So they say, I'm a kingdom financier because why they went into business. So in order to excuse themselves and then so we don't see them in the bad light as people that are money hungry, people that are loving the things of this world, then they call themselves kingdom financiers. Now, a lot of believers do not want to get into business. They don't want to talk about money, because they feel that talking about money, getting into business, and all these things means that you are falling in love with the world. But if you actually look at the life of Jesus while he was here on earth with us, most of his sermons, he was making use of money, 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 because money is actually very important. Wealth is very important. It is God's gifts to us. We are not just called to live anyhow on earth, live righteously, of course, on earth, but anyhow in terms of resources, finances, and then make it to heaven. That's not the kind of life that God called us to live. God called us to dominate both on earth and in heaven. His original plan for us on earth when he placed Adam in the Garden of Eden was for dominance, for enjoyment, right? But sin broke that. Sin broke that bridge, that that opportunity that we had to be rich, to be wealthy, to enjoy the good things of life. Because of the sin of Adam and Eve, right? We're not able to enjoy it any longer, and that's what Jesus came to repair. But I still don't understand why, even with the salvation, the new age or new generation or New Testament salvation that we've gotten, a lot of us still feel that um, God promised us everything, right? And wealth, riches is not part of it. I don't understand why. A lot of us feel that riches is a sign of being um, part of this world. We even have scriptures to back it up. That is knowledge now. We even have scriptures to back it up. We see things like um, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added. Stuff like that. We say all that. We say all that, and we always seek the kingdom of God, but we usually neglect the fact that every other thing is actually supposed to be added, and every other thing has actually been promised to us. So we pursue the gospel, and even when the other things that are supposed to be added to us, let's say good health, riches, especially riches, even when they are now being added, we throw them away because we lack knowledge. We understand, we know the scripture, that particular scripture, seek ye first the kingdom of God and every other thing will be added unto you. We know the scripture very, very well, but we don't understand it. We pick that's actually one of our problems. We pick what we want from the word and then we throw the rest away. We pick what we want from the word and then we throw the rest away. That's why the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. He said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and every other thing will be added unto you, right? So when you seek the kingdom of God, it is only natural that things should be added unto you. But when things are beginning to be added onto us, all of a sudden it seems like it is a sin. It's like, why am I seeing money everywhere? Why are people coming with job opportunities? They want to remove me from the fold. They want my love for Jesus to grow cold, stuff like that. We don't know that it is actually God that is giving us this opportunity so that all these other things will be added on to us because He wants us to dominate in every area of our life. He wants us to enjoy in every area of our life. He's not just promising us eternal life, He's promising us a good life, both on earth and in heaven. So, knowledge. We think we know, but we do not know. Some of us we don't know that, or we don't really understand what it means by saying I'm a son of God. God. There was a time he was addressing the Israelites, and then he was that's in the Old Testament. He was saying that if he was hungry, everything that is on earth, the whole world, he's the one that created it. So if he was hungry, he can easily pick up anything and eat if he was if he was hungry, which means everything is for him. So as a son of God, as a child of God, you have rights to everything on earth. It's your inheritance. Your inheritance, or whatever you are going to get is not just in heaven. It starts here on earth and goes to heaven, right? So whatever it is you are doing, you have to bear in mind that everything that I am seeing around me is actually rightfully mine because it belongs to my Father. But we shy away from that fact, or we do not really understand what it means to be a child of God. So we then start, we just say, let me just see how it goes, stuff like that. And we don't actively demand things that are rightfully ours, because even though they are rightfully yours, and God wants you to have them, it is in your place to place demand, make demand of those things and call them forth. It's your place to walk your path to align with what God has planned for you, so that you can actually reap the benefits of what He has promised you. It is your place to do that. Another thing is we are very lazy as believers. I've not started touching what I planned for today. So another thing is that we're very lazy as believers. Um, we believe that because our Father is God and all that, that we don't have to work. We just sit back and we just pray that we find miracle money, or God just blesses us. We say, God bless me, God bless me. You don't do anything to make Him bless you. And He says clearly in His word that I'm going to bless the work of your hands. You don't have any work of your hands, or maybe the work of your hands, you are not diligent, and you know that it's the diligent that are going to stand before kings and not before men, but you are not diligent with your work, or you don't even have anything doing at all, and you want God to bless you. God is a God of principles. That's part of the reason why we see the people we call unbelievers. They seem to be the one that are making it a lot in this part of life. It seems to be the ones that are making it, that are making waves and all that, because we as believers, we do not really understand our place on earth. We do not really follow principles. We don't follow principles. We don't follow principles. We don't follow principles. God has set principles on the earth. Say you sow, you reap, and you do not sow, you want to reap. You are a thief. God set principles. Say, I'm going to bless the work of your hands, right? If you are diligent with your work, you are going to stand before kings and not before men. And you are not diligent with your work, and you want to stand before kings. It doesn't work that way. You have to be diligent. It's just principles that God has already embedded into the structure of the earth that we must follow if we must attain that promise that He has said in His word. The unbelievers might not even have an idea of the Bible, but they just have an idea that this is how the world works. Because it is God that created the world, it is God that sets the principles and the principles in the world. So the over the years, people have come to find out some of these principles, the principles that we read every day in our Bibles. Some people have come to find out that okay, this is how the world actually works. It rewards the diligent. So they work, even though they have no idea, maybe they don't know God, or they worship other gods, right? And they employ these principles and it works for them. And then we feel that God is being partial, or maybe God is not a liar. God is not a liar. He said in His word, if you are diligent, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to bless the work of your hand. You have to have something doing, and you have to be diligent. If you're not diligent, you don't have something doing, and you want God to bless you. It doesn't work. So um, it's not like God doesn't want to bless you. Right? It's not like God doesn't want to bless you, but you are not doing what is expected of you, so He can bless you. He's looking at you and like, my child, only if you will do this, then I will open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. But you don't want to. You are just there. You don't want to do anything. You want wealth to suddenly fall on your head, a pot of money to fall on your head. It doesn't work. It simply does not work. We have to really, really understand that there are things that must be done. There are principles that must be followed. Even God Himself cannot bypass principle. He cannot bypass principle. Look at Jesus coming to save us. Someone had to come and die for us. Someone just had to do it. It's not that God doesn't have the power to actually destroy the devil and restart everything and stuff like that. But principle has to be followed. Otherwise, it will make Him an unjust God. Principles must be followed. So if God as He is following principles, who are you to not follow principles? And then you expect something different. God follows principles, but you don't want to follow principles, but you want the benefits of the principles that you are not following. It does not work that way. You are a thief. Amen. All right. So um let's delve into tonight. Let's delve into tonight. To to become rich, to become rich, there are things that must be done. Like I said earlier, you have to have something doing first. Now, in having something doing, the first thing you need to do is to select what it is that you want to do. I see a lot of people that want to go into that want to start making money. Them not say go into business. They want to start making money, right? Um, they are just doing anything, or they see that their friends are doing this and they follow their friends, or they see that people are making a lot of money from this thing and then they just put their head. They don't check their natural inclinations. They don't check their natural interests, their interests. They don't check their interests. They don't check their natural inclinations. For instance, if you tell me that I should become a professional musician, I can sing very well, actually. I can sing very well, but it is not my natural inclination, my interest to be a singer. So even if you tell me that, oh, people are making blah 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 from singing, right? I will not do that. Okay, let me bring it home. I have an affiliate team that sells some of my products because I actually have a few digital products here and there, right? I have an affiliate team, but I do not do affiliate marketing per se, like the way you know affiliate marketing to be. I do not do it per se, even though I have affiliate marketers that work for me. You get? It's not like it is wrong. It's not like anything is wrong with it, but it's not my natural inclinations to affiliate market. Actually, come in as middleman for a lot of deals like that. You get? But um, it's the nature of those deals. I cannot be on my computer, you know, making sales and all that stuff. I just it's just not my thing. Understand? The same thing with coding. When I started out, I made that mistake. I actually delved into coding because a lot of people were making money from the tech space, and then I was like, oh, okay, let me just get into coding. That was 2016, if I can remember clearly. 2015, 2016 time. I even have a page. I even have a page for that. I started a company, a mini company for that. I've abandoned the company anyway. Not abandoned, but we paused operations until some things are met. And meanwhile, I'm definitely never ever going to code because I discovered that I am a businessman. I'm a businessman. I can sell, stuff like that. I can produce, but you see, there's some technical areas that I just cannot do, and I forced myself to do it. It was a lot of work. So some of us we want to start something, and instead of looking at our natural inclinations and then trying to see how it can we can get into start making money out of that. It could be a job, it could be a business, whatever it is. Start making money out of that. We start going into things that we feel are the green areas, right? We go to things that we feel, oh, this thing is going to make me a lot of money, instead of looking within to see what exactly we can do and utilizing that, harnessing all those skills, all those interests, all those abilities, and try to make money from those. So whether you are working at a job, whether you're working on a job, whether you want to start a business, whatever it is, you have to make sure that you are not just doing it for doing sake, or we are just doing it because okay, a lot of people are talking about it, there's a lot of money here. It's naturally not what you do. The truth is, if it is not if it's not something that you have a flair for and nothing that you can build a flair for, it's something that is you are actually aversive to, and you force yourself to do it. Why? Because of the benefits. Sooner or later, when the challenges of that particular, because every field, every mountain of influence, every field has challenges. Everything you want to do in this life has challenges. You want to cook, there are challenges. As simple as cooking is, you want to cook, there are challenges. Right? So everything we do has its own challenges, and not a problem, but say challenges. So when the challenges present themselves to you, and you have to surmount these challenges, they will seem like a big deal, and you quit. Then you are now back to square one, looking for what to do again. That's one reason why, even though there are some things that you might not have a natural flair for, but you can build a flair for. But I usually tell people that if you want to do something, first look when you want to start out making money. First look at your skill. What can you do? What are your interests? Right? What are your interests? If you are getting a job or you want to start a business, whatever it is, you have to look at your natural interests, your natural inclinations. Someone that cannot swim will now say he wants to or someone that hates water, for instance, now decide that he wants to what is it called now? Wants to be an Olympic gold medalist in swimming, or you are really scared of heights, and you say you want to be a bungee jumper or something like that, and then you call it facing your fears. It's stupid. Sorry, let me mind my language, but it doesn't just make any sense, right? You know that God did not put this thing in you. It's not like it's something that you can build. You know you are aversive to it. It's not like it is just there. You're not really interested. You're just indifferent. It's something that you don't have any. If they mention it to you, you don't want to have anything to do with that, but then you decide that you want to go into it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. When you're starting out, first look for something that you can do, whether it's a job or anything. Look for something that you have natural inclinations for, you have natural interests for, and go into it. Whether it's an industry, um, it's a particular job position, whatever it is, you just make sure that it's something that you have a natural inclinations for, and then you delve into it, right? Now, but the bottom line of this particular point is get something doing. Just get something doing. No matter what it is, get something doing. You cannot you cannot attract gold to yourself without having something doing. Gold follows gold. Money follows money. If you don't have money, you can't get money. If you don't have money, you have to have the zeal to get money and actually turn that zeal into actions and produce actions that will attract money to you. And then when you have the money, let's call it the first inflow, then you can now work on getting second and third, and then getting it more and more frequently, right? But if you do not have anything doing, there's really no way that you can make something out of wealth or life or get rich. You have to have something doing first. Now, number two, select the right location. Get the right location, position yourself for an opportunity. Whether you are getting a job, whether you are starting a business. When I'm talking about location, I'm not just talking about physically, even though that matters, but I'm not just talking about physically. Look around you. Who are the people that are around you? The people around you determine your location in life. Look at your environment. If you can change your where you live, maybe it's not really favoring you when it comes to opportunities. You should, right? That is not saying that you should change your environment to an area that you cannot afford. You get there are ways to go about stuff like that. Now, who are the people you listen to? While living in the digital age, you definitely follow some people on social media, right? Who are the people that you listen to on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook? Are you just catching cruise with your life, or you are actually listening to people that can grow you? Who are the people you have around you? Your friends, mentors, associates, whatever. People you have around you will determine to a large extent how far you go and how much you get. It's going to determine to a large extent those. So you have to look around you. What the position you are currently, the location you are currently in life, is it favorable? Can you make something out of it? You have to ask yourself that question and be sincere with your answers to yourself. I don't see any reason why you should lie to yourself. Imagine your friends, all of them sell pepper, and you are living in a village that the predominant business there is pepper. They do not have lights. In the evening, they come and gist about what happened at the pepper market. And you said that you want to build a software company. You want to build a software company, and the people that are around you are pepper sellers. They are in the village that is selling pepper. There's no light. There's nothing. You don't have even one person that you listen to that is a software, let's say software engineer. I'm not really strong in that part. So let's say software engineer or something that, or a developer, software developer that you listen to or you follow. You don't attend conferences. You don't do any of these things. You just have this in your head. You just feel that one day you are going to be a software developer or build a software company. It does not work that way. You have to change. You have to change. It is not going to be easy. A lot of people would see you as a bad person. It actually happened to me when I started out, right? I had to cut off some people. It's not like I did not like those people. It's not like, yeah, it's not like I did not like those people. I just had to do it, right? Because I knew what I wanted. I knew where I was going to. And I knew that these people are unnecessary baggage to me. Unnecessary baggage to me. So I just had to do what I had to do. It's not like I hated them. But I just knew that our paths did not align. So I had to look for people whose paths aligned with my own. Sometimes we become too kind to a fault. We feel, this person has done so and so and so for me. We have been through this, through that, through this, through that. How will I just leave him? Or how will I just leave her, whichever it is, whatever the case may be. The truth is, your future, your destiny, whatever it is you have to do is totally dependent on you. At the end of the day, if you fail, for instance, God forbid, like we always say, if you fail, that person is not going to take the blame. It is you that is going to take the blame. You cannot blame somebody for your failure. At the end of the day, it will be foolish to do. You can't blame anybody for your failure. You can't say, oh, it is because this person did so and so and so. Why did you allow the person to do so and so and so? And then it's not even now that the person is doing anything per se. It is that you have to just make a decision to say, okay, this is how it's going to be. Even if I want to keep in touch with this person, it will not be business as usual because I have to constantly be with these other people who are going my direction. Iron sharpens iron. I have to constantly be with these people who are going my direction so that I can grow. You grow in the right environment. You grow in the right environment. I'm going to use an example today. It actually has a lot of meanings. I can literally I can literally get like 12 minutes from it. Anyway, so if you remember the parable of the sower, I mean I've been saying this since yesterday. I actually got on board with a lot of people and I just somehow find a way to keep it into the conversation. So here it is. If you remember the parable of the sower, right? You notice that the seed that he sowed, it's not like they were bad seeds. They were actually good seeds because at least they performed well on the fertile ground. But some of the seed fell on rocky area. They did not grow at all. There are some places you will be that you just cannot grow. There are some people you'll be around with that you just cannot grow until you change your environment. There's another one that fell on um how do you say it, a thorny area, right? And then okay, the thorns actually arose after they started growing. There's an environment you'll be in. Once you start growing, you see that you just suddenly see that people want to pull you down. That's not a good environment. Or the people there are not the kind of people that you should be. Are not the kind of people that you should be associating yourself with if you want to really grow. You just see that okay, they just start pulling you down. Why? Because they don't want anybody to progress. They want everybody to be on the same level. When they see that it's looking like you want to start progressing, it becomes they become aggressive. They start doing things, trying their best to make sure that you do not progress. Some of them even do it innocently. For instance, this might sound a little tough, but for instance, your parents, you say you want to go into business, for instance, like it was in my case, um, and they they feel you should have a degree, you must go to school and have a job because why it is safe. You understand? It is safe. And they actually do it with the best interest at heart, with their own best interest for you at heart. So they actually do that. And they do everything possible to make sure that you get a job. Now, going to school is not the problem, is that they want you to have a job, right? Having a job is not bad. Having a job is not bad. You get it? But if you know that that is not what you want and you're going for something else, that they find it strange, they start attacking you, whichever way they know how to. They do it innocently. In their mind, they are trying to get the best for their child, right? They're trying to get the best for their child, but you know that is not the best for you based on what you want, what you have seen, probably, right? You know, it's not the best for you. So you have to look for a way to do it without them, without their support. Once things start looking up, once things start looking up, they would be the ones that will call you back. For example, when I started out, I started business. I can't even start naming a lot of things that I did anyway. But I started business, right? And then they were not really pleased with it. They were like, it's going to affect my schooling and all that stuff. They're not really happy with it. And I started one of my brands is a crypto brand. I started my crypto brand, and my mother will always be like, oh, crypto and forex actually. So my mother will always be like, all this one you're always pressing your phone, pressing your phone, pressing your phone, pressing they see the money, stuff like that. Say when they say go to school, get a job, and I actually was a school that at this time anyway. So um, as it went on, 2020, that COVID time, I was on my phone again as usual, and she was like, all these things that they are doing, when we will start seeing the money, and stuff like that, they're just business aversive, even though we had a family business. So I told her, I said, give me $10. And I think that was like 5,000 naira then. And she gave it to me. She wanted to see what I would do. And in 2 hours, precisely 2 hours, or 1 hour something minutes, I can't remember. I posted it on my status then on WhatsApp. I flipped the $10. I actually told them on my status that this $10 now, this is what my mom said, and I'm going to flip this money. So in 2 hours, I flipped the money from $10 to over $100 in 2 hours. When she saw it, she was like, so it actually pays. You get. I don't take investments from people for crypto. I just teach and all that stuff. And show them how to make money. I have a couple of students, like over 200 thereabout. So um, she actually started investing in crypto with me. She started in 2021, and after the first investment, when I gave her the money back with the ROI, she saw how large it was. Understand? She saw how large it was. It was. I think I gave her a 200 or 250% increase. That is ROI in 1 year. She returned the money back to me that same day. I was like, I should put everything back again. So um, the people around you matters a lot. You might never grow. You might never grow if you have people around you that are constantly pulling you down. If you're in the wrong environment, your growth is going to be stunted or choked up. You understand? Your growth is going to be stunted or choked up. That is just the truth. Look at the people you have around you. Look at people you have around you. People you constantly communicate with. Who are the kind of people you constantly communicate with? Are they people that are supportive, or there are people that do not support you? Right? They want to veer you off course. Apart from veering you off course, yeah, veer you off course. I forgot what I wanted to say there. Anyway, avoid debt if you are going to start a business. If you are going to start a business, a lot of people come to me and then they'll be like, I want to start doing so and so and so and so and so, and I need you to help me with so and so amount of money. When I started business, when I started learning skills, I did not ask anybody for money. Everything that I have earned and built, even till date, has been 100% with my money. When I started out, I was serving tables as an usher. How much of that being paid per day? It was 700 naira at most when my madam said it's okay. 1,500 naira. And this was 2015, 2016 time. 1,000, and the money was the jobs were not even coming in frequently. Just on Saturdays. And sometimes some Saturdays will not even get it. But I'll save up, save up, save up. And then I look for a course. And then all the money I save will just go to that course, and then I start learning. I learn graphic design, phone graphic design. Even to date, I do phone graphic design. I don't think AJ knows, But I do phone graphic design. I got paid for that. That was the first thing that actually the first skill or business that actually fed me. Again, so I paid fully for the course, paid for video editing, you know, from serving tables. I serve table, my guys that we usually go together, they use it to buy clothes, do this, do that. I just save it. Sometimes I go very long distances and we close late and we're not giving the money on the spot. So I have to find my way back home. And it's very far from home. But I cannot afford to touch anything. Sometimes I don't even have money when I go there because I feel that okay, they should bring us back, but it doesn't really work that way most times. But anyway, I just jog back home. Then sometimes hang on to the back of pickup trucks that are going in a particular direction. Then once I just see that okay, they're trying to veer off course, in the middle of the road like this, I'll just jump down and try and find my way back to the sidewalk and continue my way back home. And then sometimes I get home 10 o'clock in the night, 11 o'clock in the night. My dad would definitely be mad. And I slept outside a lot of times. You get slept outside a lot of times. I was like, what is the meaning of this? And he leaves me outside. I sleep outside, and that was it. Anyway, that was it. So don't borrow money to start anything. Even even anybody, any big man that wants to help you, the person has to first see what you have done or what you are doing for the person to impute something, for the person to help you out. If you don't have anything doing, you have not done anything before, nobody is going to give you money except the person doesn't really know how um, investment works. You get, or maybe the person is just a family friend, a family or a friend, based on that, well, like, let me support my own, stuff like that. But if the person really understands, nobody is going to give you money just like that. Everybody expects every wise sower, every wise investor expects return on investment at a particular period or after a particular period of time. So if you cannot guarantee that, nobody will give you money. Apart from that, getting money easily is actually an addiction, and it's a bad addiction. If you get money easily, you will not know how to make money per se. I understand that there are some ventures that need funding, but if you realize that this venture that you want to get into needs so amount of funding, and you cannot really get access to that amount of funding, what stops you from taking a job or going working for someone, to raise money for it? Then maybe you have gotten the basic things that you need to start it, and you started. Then you tell somebody and say, okay, this is what I'm doing, but this is where I want to go to. So I would appreciate if you can help me with so and so, right? If you do that, people will most likely give you money, more likely help you out than when you just got some knowledge from the internet, from YouTube, from books, and then you say you want to start something. You have not really tested the waters, you've not done anything at all. There's no minute results even to show for it, and you want people to help you with money. You are going to get into debt. I'm going to get into debt, and you'll be sorry. You're going to get into debt. So it's better you start with your money, right? Start with your money. Now, whatever you're doing, make sure that you persevere. Make sure that you persevere. Whatever you're doing, make sure you keep at it. A lot of us we don't keep at it long enough for people to know us and patronize us or see us as hot cake. Now, I'm not just talking about business. I'm talking about whether you want to get a job, right? Whether you want to get a job or whatever it is, persevere, persevere. One of the things that perseverance does is that it brings knowledge and experience to your doorstep for free. Not for free anyway, because you have to persevere for you to have that. But anyway, rewards of perseverance, knowledge, experience, influence, connections. Right? When I started out as a graphic designer, I wasn't pitching anything else to anybody. I wasn't, even till date, I get design jobs. And trust me when I say I have never in my life designed with a laptop. Every design I do, I have some pretty cool designs anyway. I might not be too good, but I have some pretty cool designs. Every design I've done has always been my phone. Like our church, we have flyers, banners, whatever it is, in my phone. I do all the designs with my phone, but nobody knows that I do it with my phone. I'm just telling you now. So nobody actually knows I do it with my phone. Till date, I get design jobs, but I do not even brand myself as a graphic designer anymore. The result of getting jobs right now is because years before, when I started graphic design, I was keeping at it for as long as I could. I think I started graphic design. What's this? Yeah, so I think I started graphic design. That was 2017 or thereabout, and I was at it till 2019, right? So that's like 2 3 years roughly. So most people knew me as a graphic designer and a video editor. You get, they are not too far from each other, so it's safe. They're not far from each other, so it's safe. So um, I said at it long enough for people to recognize that this is who I am, and I built a clientele for that. But most of us today are selling pepper, tomorrow you are selling clothes online, next tomorrow you are a crypto coach, the next day you are doing spare parts, so you are just everywhere. You're just everywhere. You don't stay at one thing and really, really, really try to make the most out of it. Scattering, scattering scattering your efforts will not yield you the results you want. I'm going to be honest with you. Scattering your efforts is not going to yield you the results you want. Back again to the parable of the sower. The sower, dear, in my opinion, in this context, is a very foolish investor. Because how would you wake up in the morning, carry seeds in your bag, and you are just scattering seeds anywhere and everywhere? It does not make any sense. I think that's why he was called a sower, not a farmer, because a farmer cultivates, a farmer tills the ground. You saw fertile ground there. You couldn't go to the fertile ground and till it and plant and watch your crops grow, water them, weed, stuff like that. You're scattering it anywhere and everywhere with the hope that, okay, let's just see what happens. That's actually the mindset a lot of us have. We just want to see what happens. Let me just do this and do that and do this and do that. Let's see anyone that work. Every business, every job, except your job is outdated now. You get, but if your job is a digital, in this digital age kind of job, you get, it's still very relevant in this digital age, or your business, whatever it is, there is money there. Every business, every job has money. There is wealth. There's a lot of money in it. There's a woman that my pastor's wife know of that she always talks about. The woman sells pure water, and she has built, I think, a 3-bedroom flat by selling pure water, right? She's doing very well. She sent all her children to the university. I'm not talking about any university, University of Benin, through selling pure water. Now, there's money everywhere. It's just, can you wait for it? Can you do what is needed to get it? We feel that money is just in a particular place. No, money is not in a particular place. Money is everywhere, but it only comes to those that persevere. It only comes to those that have persevered enough to attain a certain level of skill, of expertise, of experience. Money is everywhere. Money is everywhere. But we just scatter our efforts. Imagine how you be throwing seed everywhere. You throw on the rocky ground, you throw on the one that the one that produces stones, you throw on the wayside, the birds spit it up, then you throw on the fertile ground, that's the one that grew. It does not make any sense to me. That's what a lot of us do. We just try to put our hands in everything and hope that one of them will just work. We just try to do everything and hope that one of them will just work. Now, I'm not saying that you should stay at the wrong thing for a long time, but stay on the thing that you are doing long enough to know whether it is working or not. And when you are staying at while you're staying at it, focus. Do everything you can to make sure that it works. Is if after doing everything that you can, it doesn't work for you, because it's definitely going to work for somebody else. It doesn't work for you, then you now say, okay, let me see if I can try so and so thing. But you are doing real estate. You have not finished learning real estate. You are doing real estate, you are doing graphic design, you are a crypto guy, you are this, you are that. You are selling clothes online, you are doing a lot of things at once. People don't know what exactly it is you are doing. So if they need so and so thing, except they are close to you, they will just look for the guy that they know that is doing so and so thing. Now, I understand that there are some of us, I think this 45 minutes already. Oh, shit. Anyway, I understand that there are some of us that are very, that are multi-talented. Personally, I'm one. I'm multi-talented. And they don't know how to attack that. Someone asked me a question like that on my WhatsApp. So they don't know how to attack that. So here's the answer, right? How do you manage your many skills, your many talents? Pick one at a time and focus on it. I don't know where it's AJ. She's supposed to come and stop me right now. Anyway, so pick one at a time, focus on it. Pick one talent, one skill at a time, and focus on it. When you've grown that skill to a particular extent, before you say you want to go into another one, what I do personally, I build this particular skill. I know who I want to be in the long run, but I also know that I have these skills that can also get me money. So what I do is I create brands out of those skills. I first of all learn the skill very well. When I'm learning, nobody knows. Nobody knows what I am doing, what I'm learning. Nobody knows. Then when I finish, I then create a brand out of it. Right? I create a brand out of it and I start offering that skill as a brand, not as a person. So people will not be confused. Even though I have a crypto brand, most people on Facebook, if they check me out, they will not even see anything related to crypto. Why? Because I do not want them to see anything related to crypto. Some of them might have engaged, some of them are even in my crypto group, they don't know. You get? Because I built the skill and then I turned it into a brand because I'm multi-skilled. But I know that this is the person that people know me as, and this is the person that I want people to know me as. So I should not be doing everything at once. So I create a brand out of that skill and create another brand out of another skill. And I'm still offering the same services. Maybe get some people that I can outsource to or that are working for me, right? But it's still the same thing. So I'm not the guy that does crypto, does shoemaking, does real estate, does this, does that. No, I'm not the guy that does all that stuff. So I cannot I do not confuse my people, right? Um, I really don't know where AJ went to anyway, but I'll just seize the opportunity to continue. I'm supposed to stop anytime now. Um, yeah. So whatever you do it with all your might. You procrastinate a lot. Yeah, you procrastinate a lot because we're scared. Because we're scared, we then use preparation to cover up. We use preparation to cover up. It's just that we are scared, basically. It's not like anything. We are just scared. Just they will use preparation to cover up. So execute more than you plan. You want to get a job. The way to get a job is to get a job. Yeah, the way to get a job is to get a job. The way to start business is to start business. I'm not saying you should not prepare. I'm not saying you should not do your background work. But a lot of us we become so engrossed with the details that we forget the whole structure. Right? We forget that why we want these details because we want to do so and so and so. And time is not on our side. So we have to start as soon as possible. Just get the few basic things that you need. That's why I always tell people. Just get the basic things that you need. Once you know that okay, this what do you need? You write out what you need. Then okay, this is what I need. Then I also need for me to get all this, what exactly do I need at least? Just ask yourself, what do I need at least to start? So when you write out the things that you need at least to start, or the things that you should do at least to start, at least, then you know that okay, these are the basic things that are required of me. Once you get those basic things, you start. Every other thing will come. Every other thing will come. But once you get those basic things, you start. Most of us we just want to get everything at once and before we start. And sometimes it will be too late. Right? Fortune favors the brave. Fortune always favors the brave. But it never helps anybody who doesn't help himself. So if you don't help yourself by starting, you are not going to make a fortune. The last thing I want to talk about, whether it's a skill, a career, a business, make sure that you know it very well. That is the way that you're going to get rich. That's the way you're going to get rich. Make sure that you know it very well. Before I call it a close here, before I call it a close here, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, um, we 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 don't know how to marry our spiritual life with our business life. I'm going to give you what I do. What I do is to make sure that I have a schedule for everything. There's a schedule for my business, there's a schedule for my prayer time, there's a schedule for my listening to the message. As a matter of fact, if possible, always have messages or songs playing in your ears, maybe have earphone, and stuff like that, because you are in the marketplace. The marketplace, the business place, the career world is a jungle. The world is just there waiting for you to conquer you. The world is just there waiting for you. You have to constantly be on fire. You have to constantly put yourself on fire. Listen to messages, or have AirPods or earpiece, whatever it is. If you are one that works from home, it's even easier for you. You can always put sound on, right, in the room that you're working, stuff like that. Constantly make sure that you are feeding. You are feeding. Then when you get home, I know some of us are really, really, really tired when we get home from the day's job. But when you get home, even if it's 1 hour, even if it is 1 hour, dedicate it to pray. Dedicate that 1 hour to pray. How I do it? In the morning when I wake up, though my own is a little extreme anyway. In the morning when I wake up, I have my morning devotion, right? I have my morning devotion then. After having my morning devotion, I cook. As I'm cooking, I'm chatting on WhatsApp or checking my social media, checking some other stuff like that I check every day. Money. So I'm checking that, making a few calls, business calls or whatever it is. I'm doing all that, and when I'm done, then I walk out. After walking out, I have my bath, and then once I finish having my bath, as I'm eating, I'm listening to podcasts or audiobooks, right? I'm eating, I'm listening to podcasts or audiobooks. Once I'm done eating, then I'm almost done. I'm almost through with my podcasts or audiobooks for that day. And after that, I delve into work and study. I start working from like 10 o'clock till at least 2 p.m. Work and study from like 10 o'clock to at least 2 p.m. Sometimes it gets to 4 p.m. anyway. But I make sure I work and study for that long. And after that, I most times start listening to messages. I think most civil servants come back home by 4 p.m. So even if you don't listen to messages while or listen to songs while at work, you can always by 4 p.m. plug in something as you are going back home, right? So I listen to messages from that time till like 5, 6, right? Then after that, I just start, relax, do whatever needs to be done, have dinner, right? Then 12 o'clock, I also have meetings in the evening anyway. I usually have meetings in the evenings from like 8 or 9 till whenever. So from 12 o'clock, I then start praying till 3 o'clock in the morning. That's why I say my own is a little extreme. So I pray till 3 o'clock in the morning, then from 3 o'clock to 3:30, Bible study. Then from then, maybe I do 30 minutes of a little research or work online. Then 4 o'clock, I sleep by 4 o'clock, wake up by 6 or 4, I wake up by 7. Then I repeat again, I repeat again, I repeat again. So there's time for work, there's time for God, right? There's time for work, there's time for God, basically. I think that's my quota. Where is AJ? I think she's busy. Let me. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm such a delight to have you. Thank you. Thank you. You are immensely blessed. Immensely blessed.
You even sent me a message. I've not seen it.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
You're welcome.